Hello everyone, my name is Sergey and I'm a native Russian speaker, and today I'm gonna tell you about some of the Russian words in Shadow and Bone and in the Grishaverse books. Shadow and Bone is a Netflix fantasy show that is set in the world which is very similar to 19th or 18th century Russia. The show is based on the series of books that is referred to as the Grishaverse books. The fantasy world in the books and in the show are Russian-inspired, and the language is basically Russian-inspired too, the local Ravkan language. So in this video I'm gonna tell you about the Ravkan words that actually came from Russian. Some of these words mean the same things in Russian, but some of those words have very different meanings. The first word is, of course, Grisha. Grisha is basically a term for people who have magic abilities in the Grishaverse, people who can use magic. Grisha is a very common name in Russian. Actually, the name is Grigory, the full name, and Grisha is a short diminutive form of Grigory. So in Russian, Grisha is a word, but it has a very different meaning, of course. Отказаться. Отказаться in the Ravkan language is the term for people with no magic abilities, like muggles in Harry Potter. There is a word отказаться in real-life Russian, but it has quite different meaning again. In the Ravkan language, отказаться is a noun. It means someone who doesn't have magic abilities, right? In the Russian language, отказаться is a verb, and it literally means to refuse or to reject. It sounds a little funny in Russian, not because of its meaning, but because it's not a noun, it's a verb. So it's basically like to refuse in English. And you can say, for example, those two people are to refuse. That person can't wield magic. That person is to refuse, because to refuse is not a noun. So in the Russian translation of the book, they decided to change the word отказаться, and they used another Russian word instead. They used the word отказники. In Russian, the word отказник means someone who was rejected by someone, or probably someone who rejected someone. It still sounds a little strange in Russian, but the word отказаться would sound even more strange. Мерзость. Мерзость in the Ravkan language, in the Grishaverse universe, is a term for basically dark magic. So good, normal magic is called small science, and bad, evil, wicked magic is called мерзость. Мерзость is a word in Russian, and of course it's not a word for dark magic because, well, we don't have dark magic in Russia. We don't have any magic in Russia, unfortunately. But it means something like vileness or abomination. It could also mean something just gross or something very nasty. For example, if I eat something and it tastes really terribly, I could say something like, oh, мерзость, which means, oh, that's gross. And the next word is kefta. In the Ravkan language, kefta is a bulletproof kind of uniform for Grisha. So it's not just regular outfit, it's a special outfit that can be penetrated by bullets. In Russian there is no word kefta, but there are two similar words. The first one is kaftan, which means kaftan. I think it's a word in English. It's a kind of outfit, a kind of coat, or probably jacket. Kaftan is something that Russian people would wear centuries ago. It's a quite medieval, old thing, very traditional one. And the second word is kofta. Kofta is basically sweater or jumper. It's a kind of clothing that you put on when it's quite cold. Kofta is a normal modern word that we use a lot nowadays. It's not something from the 17th century or something like that. And of course, neither kaftan nor kofta is bulletproof. Два столба. Два столба is a quite important location in the Grishaverse books, in the first and second book. It literally means two pillars in Russian. So the translators didn't even have to do anything. They didn't even have to translate that term. Ничевое. In the Ravkan language, ничевое is the word for a dark creature, for that monster made of the darkness, made of that dark energy. Ничевое is not a word in Russian, but there is a word ничего in Russian. And ничего means either emptiness or just nothing. And it makes a lot of sense, of course, because basically those ничевое creatures in the book, they are, well, sort of pieces of nothingness, pieces of darkness shaped into creatures. Собачка. Собачка is a nickname of one of the key characters in the books. He is a prince of Ravkan. And собачка is definitely a word in Russian. It means a little doggy or a puppy. Kvass. Kvass is a traditional, very common alcoholic drink in Ravka. I suppose it's something like beer. Real-life Russian kvass is something different. It's a fermented, non-alcoholic beverage. It's usually sweet. You can think of it as something between beer, because beer is fermented drink, and probably Pepsi or Coca-Cola. It's non-alcoholic, it's usually sweet, it's usually served cold. People normally drink it in the summertime, and there are a lot of small stalls where they sell kvass in the summertime. And children, of course, love that drink. So real-life kvass is a kind of drink too, but it's quite different kind of drink. Опричники. In Ravka, опричники are elite warriors who serve to the king and to the general of the army. Опричники is a real word in Russian, and we need to talk a little about Russian history to understand what it means. Have you ever heard of Ivan the Terrible? Ivan the Terrible was a Russian monarch in the 16th century, infamous for his cruelty. At some point, Ivan the Terrible created a special military unit which was supposed to report directly to him. That was his personal guard and his personal loyal army. That military unit that Ivan the Terrible created was called Опричнина. In the old Russian language, Опричнина means something like exceptional or special. So опричники were members of that Опричнина unit. So the meaning of Опричнина in Ravkan and in Russian are very similar. Мой царевич, моя царица, мой царь. These are the words that people use in Ravka to address the royal family. Мой царевич means my prince, моя царица means my queen, and мой царь means my king or my czar. And these phrases have exactly the same meaning in Russian. Although I'm not sure that in Russia people actually used these words. I don't think that people addressed the royal family as Мой царевич, моя царица, мой царь. Probably they used their titles such as Your Highness or Your Majesty, something like that. That's it for today. Thank you very much for watching. If you have any questions about Russian words in the Grishaverse, please let me know about them in the comments below. If you have any comments about the words that I mentioned, please let me know about them too. Thank you for watching my video. Please don't forget to hit the like button if you liked it, and see you next time. Bye!